Holocaust Remembrance Day, we had the opportunity this year to join the March of the Living. We are here in Auschwitz-Birkenau, what is left of the death camp. Here, Birkenau is an area that was actually not renovated. What we see here is the nothing, the ruins of the bombardment of the Allied forces. It is left as it was then, and here is where the main ceremony took place. Earlier today, the participants, more than 10,000 youths from all around the world, around 6,500 of them Jewish, coming from 40 countries around the world, toured through Auschwitz, the Auschwitz death camp, where there are exhibitions teaching the story, telling the story of the Shoah, of the Holocaust.
The message for us is to remember, to learn to the new generation about the Holocaust, and to say never again.
It's actually a very moving experience. You get to experience a lot of feelings at the same time, some that you don't really get to know what you're feeling at that time. And walking in here and looking for my last name on that list and finding it was very touching. I wasn't really sure if I would find it or not because my grandparents haven't really talked to me much about the Holocaust with our family name, but I knew that they were somewhere near here, so they must have gone here.
I'm the granddaughter of a survivor, and I believe it's really, really important. These things are important to know. We need to come to these places, learn our history, otherwise we'll repeat it.
We look at it now and it's a nice place, but imagine putting yourself in that situation of being the prisoner here in winter with barely any clothes on. You get to see it up front and in first person, and you know that it happened and you know that it was there. And if you see it in class, you just see it in books and maybe a movie or something, but it's not the same thing.
How's these days been for you?
They've been really, really moving. They've been hard, and they didn't make a lot of sense. Walking these places full of death, horror, it doesn't make sense. There's not really an explanation, but it felt right. It felt like hope was there somehow.
From Auschwitz to Birkenau, the thousands marched and arrived here for the main ceremony, a very moving ceremony, of course, with dignitaries from around the world. Education ministers were here this year, and this is part of the message of the March of the Living, of the Israeli Education Ministry. The next stage of telling the story of the Holocaust, the next stage will not be the survivors, it will be the educators, telling the story, fighting anti-Semitism through telling the story of the Holocaust.
I came here 25 years ago as a participant, and this trip had a profound impact on me, and that's why I wanted to come back as a chaperone.
I wanted to remember the Holocaust so that I could continue the story and continue the Jewish story, and so that this never happens again.
There's much more than one lesson. We have to learn about our past. We have no future without remembering our past, but also that our future is so important. Like today, so many kids being here, teenagers, young adults from around the world, talking, having fun, making jokes while all this was going on is a sign of hope for an incredible future that we have ahead of us.
This was an experience, this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Coming here, it quantified things and it gave me a real sense of pride. I've always been a proud Jew, but coming here has made me appreciate what it is and what a rich heritage my people has, and how valuable the state of Israel is, because this will never happen again, and this can never happen again. This was, there's no words. This was an embarrassment for all of humanity.
It becomes a lot more real. Like yesterday when we were here, it was hailing. So first of all, like you're in a bad physical state, like you're in a mental state, and you start contemplating things, thinking about things, like it resonates with you a lot more than hearing big numbers and hearing facts. Like you feel it's a lot more human.
I had a group of friends who did the journey, and they told me how it had empowered them, and I wanted to hopefully feed off and feel for myself this exact feeling that they had, and rest assured that it had done what I was anticipating.
The high peak of this event will actually be celebration in a few days in Israel, as the participants of the March of the Living will continue to Israel to mark Independence Day and the day before, the Memorial Day of Israel. And that is exactly the connection between the Holocaust in the past, the present, the state of Israel, the Jewish state and the Jewish people's land, and of course, the future of our hopes and beliefs.
We're going to Israel afterwards, where we'll celebrate, after seeing all this death and going through these camps, we'll end up being happy a little bit, with a little hope.
Tell us about the connection to your next stop. There's a stop in Israel. You're continuing from here to Israel, and that's the strongest message maybe of them all.
Yes, of course. The strong is to continue with the life, to continue with the continuity, to strengthen our Jewish identity, and to say we are here for the future.
For me, it's a very strong connection. I went to Majdanek yesterday. I heard a few people sing. We had people were singing, let's say, and even if I wasn't in Majdanek, I really felt hope, and then I realized that I was going to Israel, and everything changed. I have family there, so it's just great. It's just great that I can go from death to life.
These people who were at Auschwitz had nowhere to go, and now every Jew in the world has a place that they can call home in Israel, and I'm just very excited for the contrast from coming out of here and feeling the pride that I feel what my people went through and seeing what we created.
Well, I feel it's like the rainbow after the storm, because we're going to be celebrating the independence of Israel, so it's a very happy week.